What an amazing April Maker's Box. Whispers of the Garden, Cottage Garden Plaid, both from Roycycled decoupage. Spring Awakening and Petals and Stripes from the Painted Photographer. Prom Queen and Layered Chocolate are the DIY paint. Manor Green and Bellwood from Fusion Mineral Paint, and Sweetwater from Sweet Pickens Milk Paint. If you've ever looked at something old and imagined the story it could tell, this one's for you. Hey friends, welcome to Dirt Road Relics. Project 1. This little house came to me a bit worn and weathered, the kind of piece that most people might pass right by. But you know me, I always see the story it could become. I started by giving it a fresh coat of Sweetwater milk paint from Sweet Pickens. I just love this soft minty green. It instantly brought a little life back into the piece while still keeping the time-worn vintage feel. Once that dried, I wanted to lean into a garden-inspired look, something that felt like it had been tucked away along a quiet path for years. So I added moss along the roof to give it that natural, overgrown charm. And then came my favorite part, the details. A sweet little fairy resting on the rooftop, a butterfly front and center, and just a few soft embellishments to bring the whole story together. It's amazing what a little paint, a little texture, and a little imagination can do. From something forgotten to something that feels like it belongs right out on the porch, telling a whole new story. I always find myself thinking about where a piece like this would live once it's finished. Like, could you picture it tucked into a garden somewhere, maybe surrounded by flowers, or sitting out on a porch where it just catches your eye? That's really what I try to create when I'm working on something like this. Not just a finished piece, but a feeling. Something that looks like it belongs somewhere special, like it's been a part of the space for years. I think that's what I love most about projects like this. You're not just painting or decorating. You're kind of imagining a whole little story around it and bringing that to life one step at a time. For project number 2, this next piece is actually one I had started a while back. And if I'm being honest, I just kind of lost inspiration with it. It happens more than you think. But the moment I pulled out the Spring Awakening rice paper from the Painted Photographer, it just sparks something again. I love how Connie designs these papers to coordinate with DIY paint colors. It just makes everything come together so naturally. So today, I'm revisiting this piece, adding that beautiful rice paper and bringing it back to life with a little layered chocolate at the bottom. I wish that I wouldn't have cut this line straight across. I wish I would have used the water method where it left the little fringes on it, but you can't take back something that you've already finished. I hope you enjoy, friends. This is one of my favorite little tricks. I used water to tear the paper. It gives it that soft, almost feather edge, so it looks like it's always been part of the piece. Adding this darker color to the bottom just kind of anchors everything. It gives the piece a little more depth and balance. And Connie makes it so simple for us by using the DIY paint colors in her pictures. It's just so easy. I am thoroughly enjoying the blending process and learning how to extend the different papers. It's been so much fun. This next project is such a fun one, and honestly, one that I can really see fitting right in to sell at my booth or at market. This started out as a simple little chalkboard piece with the ceramic holder attached. I'm guessing it probably held an eraser at one point, but instead of keeping it as is, I wanted to turn it into something a little more functional, a lot more beautiful. So I'm using a section from the Whispers of the Garden decoupage paper from Roycycled. And this is what they call a master board. And I love these so much because there are just so many options on one sheet. You can use little sections, larger sections, and really stretch it across multiple projects. That's one of the things I really appreciate about this maker's box. It's not just for one project. It gives you the ability to create several pieces, especially if you're like me and you're thinking about your booth or upcoming markets. So I decided to go ahead and use a full section here on the chalkboard to really make it a statement piece. And then instead of using this little ceramic piece for an eraser, I thought, why not turn it into something a little more me? So I added a small floral arrangement, something soft and garden inspired that ties right back into the paper. It just gives it a whole new purpose and makes it feel more like a decor piece instead of just something functional. And that's really what I love about projects like this. You're not just updating something, you're reimagining how it can be used. And for me, it's also about creating pieces that I know would do well in my booth. Things that feel unique, but still practical enough that someone can take them home and use them in their everyday life. I thrifted this little grow sign. It's metal, and I am going to upcycle it using the Manor Green and the Fusion Mineral Paint. It just added a little bit of whimsy to it, and I will be adding it to the piece. You could add little magnets that you could put pictures of your garden, pictures of whatever on there, or like little seed packets, just to add a little bit of whimsy to it. Let me know what you think. This last project is probably one of my favorites, just because it has a little bit of meaning behind it. This large metal letter B that actually belonged to my daughter, Brianna, she used to have it in her space, but as life changes and seasons shift, it just didn't quite fit her style anymore. So instead of letting it sit or getting rid of it, I wanted to bring it into a new chapter and make it something I could use on my front porch. I started by giving the whole piece a base coat of raw silk from Fusion Mineral Paint. I almost always do this when I'm working with decoupage. It just gives you that nice, clean white background, so all of the details in the paper really stand out. Especially with something like galvanized metal, it keeps that darker tone from showing through. Then I went in and painted the sides using layered chocolate from DIY Paint, and I love what that does. It really adds depth and makes the piece feel even more three-dimensional. From there, I started working with the scraps from the Whispers of the Garden decoupage paper, and this is something I really tried to be intentional about, not wasting any part of the paper. Even those smaller pieces can come together to create something really beautiful. That's one of the things I love most about these master boards. You can piece them together, layer them, and once you wet them down and blend them in, they just melt into each other. You really don't see where one piece ends and another begins. It gives such a soft, cohesive look. As this started coming together, I wanted to add just a little something extra to make it feel finished and tie it into my porch and garden theme. So I cut out the word bloom on my laser engraver in these soft bubble letters, and I'm painting those in Prom Queen from DIY Paint. It's such a pretty soft blue, and it just gives the perfect little pop against all the florals without overpowering them. And I love how this piece turned out. It still holds that connection to Brianna, but now it fits into my space and my style. It's a reminder that even things that feel like they've outgrown their place can be reimagined into something new. And that's really what this whole process is about for me. Taking what we already have, giving it new life, and creating something meaningful along the way. Thanks so much for being here with me today, friends, at Dirt Road Relics. I hope these projects inspired you to see old, forgotten pieces in a whole new way, because sometimes all they need is a second chance. Be sure to check out the playlist below for more information, and if you love kicking up dust and chasing treasures, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for being here with me at Dirt Road Relics. I hope these projects inspired you to see old, forgotten pieces in a whole new way, because sometimes all they need is a second chance. Be sure to check out the playlist below for more inspiration, and if you love kicking up dust and chasing treasures, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you soon, friends.